Hi guys, and welcome to another Woolly Witch tutorial. For this video I'm going to be showing you how to crochet a pair of Posh Mary Janes, and these I've made with a 3-ply yarn and a 3.5 hook, and you'll need a needle just to sew in your threads about that size, a pair of scissors, and I use stitch markers, which are just cut pieces of yarn. And for this pair that I'm going to make, I'm going to do it in this colour here, grey. It's got a slight sparkle in it, as this white has as well. I think it's really pretty. I don't know if you can see it on camera. And I'm going to use the same pink for the edging, the soles and the bow. So we're going to start with the pink, and then as with these where the white is, this is going to be grey. So that's all you need to make these. So we can start by making the sole, and which is round 1, and we're going to start by making a slip knot just to begin with, so we can work our foundation chain. So if you just wrap the yarn around your fingers and then pinch, and I just let that rest. If you put your hook through underneath and then just pull this through, and then just pull it up to the hook, and there you've made a slip knot. So we need to chain 10. So we're going to yarn over and then pull through this loop, and that's your first chain made, and it looks like a V. So we need to do 10. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to work our way along the foundation chain, and we're going to make 2 single crochets into this second chain here. So ignore this first one. I'm going to be working into this one. I'm going to put a stitch marker across just so I know at the end of this round where I'm going to slip stitch into, and we're going to be making a slip stitch into the first single crochet made. So I've put my stitch marker across. So again, into this second chain here, I'm going to insert the hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. You should have 2 loops on your hook, and yarn over and pull through both loops, and that's 1 single crochet made. So we're going to work into the same stitch here, insert the hook, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through. So it's just the first one we worked 2. We're just going to work now 1 into each of the next 7. So this is our next stitch here, that one. So insert your hook and pull up a loop and yarn over and pull through 2. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You should have 1 chain remaining, which is this one here, and into this one we're going to work 5 single crochets, and that will bring us round to the other side of the work. So insert your hook and work 5. 1, so into the same space here, insert your hook and do another 4. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, and as you see, it's brought us now back onto the other side. I always hold threads underneath where I can and stitch over them, just so it's one less thread at the end to sew into, but it's entirely up to you whether you want to do that or not. So this is where we've just been working into. We're going to work into this next space here. Try not to go under just one loop. You need to make sure you go all the way through, but you do get used to that the more times you practice working a pattern. So I'm going to insert the hook through there, yarn over and pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through both loops. We need to work 7, so we've done 1, and again just go into the next space, find it. If you need to pull it apart, usually once you've pushed your hook through, it finds it itself. We've done 1, 2, 3, can be a bit fiddly working on the foundation chain. 4, 5, because you haven't got much to grab either. 6, 7. So we've got one space left here at the end, you can see that. We're going to work 2 single crochet, and as you can see, I'll just turn that over. I've sewn that underneath, so at the end when I finish this I can just snip it. So that's 1, 2. So here where the marker is where I'm going to be making a slip stitch into this V here. So if you just insert your hook into both loops and yarn over and pull up a loop. You're not going to yarn over, you're just going to pull this top loop through to this bottom one, and that's a slip stitch. You can remove your marker, you don't need that for now. So that brings us to the end of round 1, and it should be looking like that. So we're now ready to start round 2. I'm going to start by making a chain of 2. So if we just yarn over and pull through, that's chain 1. At the end of this round we're going to be making a slip stitch into the second chain, so I'm going to place a stitch marker across and make one more chain. And for our next stitch we're going to be working into the one we've just joined in, which is here, this one, and we're going to be working a half double crochet. And to work a half double crochet we're going to yarn over, insert into this stitch here, yarn over and pull through a loop. You should have now 3 loops on your hook, so yarn over and pull through all 3, and that's a half double crochet made. We need to work 8 more along here, so that's 1, so it's 9 altogether. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll just show you that's what it should be looking like. So we're going to work our way around here now, and we're going to work 2 half double crochet into each of the next 5. So this next one along we're going to work 2 half double crochet and then repeat that another 4 times. So we just make 2 into this one, okay, so there you can see we've made 2 into the same stitch. So we work again, repeat that into the next one, and then third one, that's 1, 2, and the fourth one, and then the fifth one, work another 2 half double crochet. Okay, so now we're back along this side here, and then we're going to work a half double crochet into the next 7. So this will be our next stitch, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, sorry, I'm just sorry to pause, I'm just checking I am right. So in these 2 stitches here, we're going to work 2 half double crochet into each one. This was our chain of 2, and that was the slip stitch. That's why I was pausing, because I was just checking I thought I had 1 stitch too many. So I'll just explain this because it can be a bit confusing, especially when you're first learning how to crochet. So you'd be thinking, well, what are we doing with this stitch? I used to. So I'll just go backtrack slightly. These next 2 stitches, working 2 half double crochet. We ignore this one because this is what I call a false stitch. This was our slip stitch of the previous round, and then here was the chain 2. So we are on the right lines. So into the next one, work 2 half double crochet. That's 1 and 2, and then just repeat that for the next stitch. 2 more half double crochet, 1 and 2, and then we're going to make, again, that just to remind you, that is a slip stitch, so ignore that one. And then we're going to make a slip stitch into the top of chain 2. Can be a bit fiddly doing it into chain, so I'm just going to pull it slightly. As you can see, there's like a loop underneath the marker, and you have to always make sure you get in between that. Don't do it into this gap here, you have to get into the actual stitch. So I'm just going to insert the hook into that V there, like so. Yarn over and pull through, and then pull through again. So I just remove the marker. So this is what it should be looking like at the end of round 2, and as you can see, it's starting to take shape. So we're now going to start round 3. I'm going to start by making a chain of 2, and in the second chain I'm going to put the marker in. So if we chain 1, I'm going to put the marker in here because this is where we're going to join into at the end of this round. Chain 2. So we're going to be working half double crochets, and we're going to start not in the joining stitch, which is this one. We're going to start in this one here. So we're going to work a half double crochet, and we need 13 altogether, so we need to do another 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm just going to have a quick count, and if you want to do a quick way of counting, I've had it easy just to count the V's rather than these pieces here. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Just work 1 more. That's 13. So into each of these next 3 stitches we're going to work 2 half double crochet into each one. So that's 1, and go back into the same space and work another. So move on to the next stitch, work 2 more half double crochets, 1, 2, and then third, 1 and 2. So we're going to work 12 half double crochets across here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you should have what looks like this. So there's your next 2 stitches we're going to be working into, and into these we're going to work 2 half double crochet into each one, and this is your slip stitch from the previous round and the chain 2, so that is right. So we're going to work 2 half double crochet into this one, and then the same into this one. Okay, now we need to make a slip stitch into the top of chain 2 where the marker is, and I'm going to be changing colour. So whenever I change colour, an easy rule of thumb is, because obviously you change colour, it can be any type of stitch, but with a slip stitch it's the last part of the stitch that you change colour, as with any other stitches. If you always remember it's the final part of the stitch, because it sometimes can be confusing when to know what point to change thread. So I've inserted the hook into where the marker was, so I'm going to grab the new colour, leave a tail about 5 inches, 4 to 5 inches, because you need to make sure you've got enough to sew in, and then just hook it round, yarn it round the hook, loop it round the hook, and then pull it through where your marker is, and then pull it through, and that's how you change colour. And that brings us to the end of round 3. So we're now ready to start round 4, and we're now moving on to the upper part of the Mary Jane. So we're going to start with the chain of 2, and I'm going to put a stitch marker again in the second chain, because we'll be joining into this at the end of this round. Okay, and we're going to be working half double crochets again, but instead of working through both loops, we're going to be working through the back loops only. So where my thumbnail is here, these are the front loops and these are the back loops, and the reason we're going to only work through the back loops, it just creates more definition of the shoe, which you'll see as we start to work our way around. So we're not going to work into this joining stitch here, we're going to be going into this one. So if we yarn over and insert the hook just through the back loop, yarn over and pull up a loop, and again 3 loops on your hook for a half double crochet, yarn over and pull through all 3. So we're going to work our way around. So if we work through the next one again into the back loop only, just going to work a couple of more stitches with you, and then you'll see the effect it has by just leaving the front loop. So as you can see, by leaving those front loops there, it just creates more shape and definition. So it's very straightforward this round. You're just going to continue half double crochets into the back loops all the way around until you get to the end, and obviously remember not to stitch into this one, this is the false stitch, so this would be your last stitch. So just carry on as we've just started, and I'll meet you at the end of round 4. So we now can start round 5, but I'm just going to form a slip stitch into the top of this chain at the end of round 4. Can remove the marker. So I'm going to make another chain of 2, and again I'm putting the marker in across the second chain. This is another straightforward round. We're going to be working half double crochets around, and in this round we're going to be working through back again through both loops, so we won't be starting in the joining stitch, it'll be the next one along. I'm going to yarn over and work a half double crochet, and then move on to the next one. So it's just another round of half double crochets. And at this point as well, I'm going to cut off the pink because it tends to get in the way when you've changed colour. So again, just leave about 5 inches, 4 to 5 inches to sew in. work one more. So just continue working your way around until you get to your last stitch, and then I'll meet you at the end of this round, which is round 5. So we're just coming up to the end of round 5, and I'm just going to make a slip stitch into our joining chain where the marker is, and pull this out now. So we're on to round 6. I'm going to start with the chain 2, and then I'm going to put the marker back in for the second chain. Okay, so we're going to start half double crocheting again, and we're not going to work into the joining stitch again. It'll be this one here, and for this one we're going to half double crochet in the next 11 stitches. So this one here will be our first, not that one. So if we make a half double crochet, that's one, there, didn't start very well, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now we're going to work double crochet 2 together 6 times, and this draws the shoe in, it just closes it, so in effect we are decreasing. So to double crochet 2 together, we'll be working into the next 2 stitches that explains the stitch. We're double crocheting 2 together. So to do this, we're going to yarn over and insert into the next stitch and pull up a loop. So you should now have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. So we're going to yarn over and then work into the next stitch. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull through a loop. So you should now have 4 loops on your hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2. So you now should have 3 loops on your hook. To yarn over and pull through all 3. And we've just made 1 double crochet 2 together. So we've worked in 2 stitches at the bottom, and as you can see we've made 1 stitch here. So we have decreased. So we need to do this another 5 times. So again we're working into these next 2. So we're going to yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and again you should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2. So you should have 2 remaining. So we're going to yarn over, work into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. You should have 4 loops on your hook now, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 3. So that's our second double crochet 2 together. So we're going to make 4 more. That's our third one. That's 4. 5. 6. As you can see, look at the shape that's made at the front of the shoe. So now we're going to work half double crochet in the next 12 along here. So if we yarn over, no, that's the one we've just worked into, so we're going to go into this one here and work 1 half double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's annoying me now. Stitch markers are good, but they can be a bit of a nuisance. I've lost count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just going back to stitch markers, you can buy proper ones. They can be plastic. I have actually got some really pretty ones. Actually, I'm going to show you. Somebody bought them me recently. I've not actually used them yet. It was a present. They are really nice. So these are my new unused stitch markers. Ta-da! They're really pretty. So you just clasp them. They've got little clasps that I'm assuming you just, where I've wrapped the yarn over here, you just hook them round. So you've got a pair of scissors, buttons, tape measure, what's that one, yarn, and Crochet Diva. They are really nice and they feel quite good quality as well. And these are from a company, and now I'm not as lucky enough to be sponsored, Charmed Knitting. But yeah, I think they're really nice. I might start the next video I do, I'm going to try them out. And I like the fact that you can keep them on here, so I'm not going to lose them like I do earrings. But for now, my cut off pieces of yarn will do. So we're at the end of this round, and we're just going to then make a slip stitch into our joining chain, the top of chain 2. And that brings us to the end of round 6, and it should start, just going to tuck those in for now, it should be looking like so. So we're now ready to start round 7, and we're going to make another chain of 2 to begin this round, and I'm going to put a stitch marker across again in the second chain. This is the one we'll be joining into at the end of this round. So I'm going to be working half double crochets, and the next one will be worked into this stitch here, not the joining stitch. So if we yarn over and work a half double crochet, and we need to work 10, so we've just done 1, we need to do 9 more, and that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just make sure you've got 10, 4, 6, 8, 10. So now we're going to be working 4 double crochet, 2 together. If you remember in the previous round we worked 6, so this round we're going to work 4, and we're going to be working into these next 2 stitches here. So if we yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, and you should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2. You should have 2 loops left, yarn over and insert into the next stitch and pull up a loop. And you should have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. You should now have 3. Yarn over and pull through the remaining 3. And there's another double crochet 2 together. So we're going to work into these next 2 stitches here. Yarn over, insert, not this one, the next one, because it looks like that one's free, but it's only because it's pulling. So yarn over, insert into the next stitch and pull up a loop. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. You should have 2 left. So yarn over, insert into the next stitch and pull up a loop. You should have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. And then yarn over and pull through the remaining 3. We need to work 2 more double crochet 2 together. That's the 3rd one. And that's the 4th. So we're going to finish off working half double crochets along here, and we need to work 11. So again, into the next stitch, work 1 half double crochet. We need to do 11, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now we're going to be working the edging and the strap, and I'm going to change to the pink. And you need to leave a tail. If you just measure 25 inches, so when I insert into this top of chain 2, I'm going to change colour. I've already measured mine, so I'm just going to insert the hook and grab that new colour. I'm going to yarn it over and pull it through. Oops. And now I have a colour change, and my tail's about 25 inches long, and I'm going to crochet behind that tail because we'll need it towards the front of the shoe. So if I separate the tail, I'm just going to hold it with my finger behind here as I single crochet around. So once you've done that, we can then start with the edging and the strap. So we're going to start by making a chain of 1, and we're going to work a single crochet into this stitch here, not the joining stitch, this one, and I'm going to crochet behind the tail all the way along the next. There's going to be 9 altogether, because this tail we're going to be using to work into these stitches towards the front. So I'm going to put my stitch marker across, because this first single crochet that we make is the one we're going to be joining into at the end of this round. So if I make 1 single crochet, I go under the tail and pull up a loop. If the tail's resting across the top, it will be secured in. So that's 1, 2, again we need to do 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just going to pull out the tail, just make sure it's not snagged behind any of the stitches. So now we're going to chain 6, which is the strap across, which will take us to the other side. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we turn the shoe, we're going to leave 8 single crochet, and then we're going to work in the next 8 single crochet. So I just backtrack 2, 4, 6, 8. If you do that, it's easier to show where to join into. So I'm going to join into this one and work a single crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to make a slip stitch into the first one that we made. There we go. I'm going to cut that and fasten off. I'm going to just leave a tail about 4 to 5 inches to sew in. So I don't need that anymore. And then fasten off. Just tuck it into the shoe so it's out of the way. And we don't need this anymore, the stitch marker. So here we are at the front of the shoe, and here's the tail that we measured at the beginning. So what I'm going to do is, where this single crochet is made, I'm going to insert the hook and pull this tail through, and then I'm going to chain 1, and then into here I'm going to make a single crochet to the same stitch, and then each one of these that we haven't worked into, I'm going to make a single crochet. Try not to do them too tight, so I don't want to draw the shoe up too much. So if we just work our way around. So once you've worked the last single crochet into this one here, we're going to do a slip stitch. So just insert and pull through and pull through, and then we can fasten that off. You should have just about the right amount of tail left to sew in, and there we have it. So we've worked the sole, we've worked the upper, and then the edging and the strap. So if you sew these threads in, and then we can now start working on the bow embellishment. So I can now show you how to make the bow, the embellishment for the shoe, and it is very easy. And I'm going to use the pink yarn that we used for the Mary Jane. I'm going to use a smaller hook, and this one's a 3mm, only because I just want the bow to be as small as I can get it with this particular yarn, but that will be fine, one of those. So we're going to start by making a magic ring. Let's move everything out of the way. And to do this, you're just going to grab the end of your yarn and wrap it around your fingers. And then when it comes to this point here, just pinch with your thumb and rest this piece over. So if you insert the hook underneath and then pull the yarn through, not too far, just there, you just need to pull up a loop. And then make a chain round it, so yarn over and grab the ring so it doesn't fall, and just chain. So I'm just going to pinch it with this thumb now and make sure none of these pieces are tangled, because this piece here is what you're going to pull it to close it at the end. So there you have a magic ring. So we're going to work into this, but before we do that, we're going to just make a chain of 4. So just yarn over, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to now start working in the ring, and we're going to make now 4 treble crochets. So to do that, we're going to yarn over twice, so that's once, twice, and then insert the hook into the ring and yarn over and pull up a loop. So you should have 4 loops on your hook. So we're going to yarn over and pull through 2. So now you should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2. You should have 2 loops left. Going to yarn over and pull through 2. So you can see what that looks like. And that's how you work into the magic ring. So we're going to make another one. So if we yarn over twice, once, twice, and then insert under the ring and pull up a loop. Again, you should have 4 loops on your hook. So yarn over and pull through 2. Then you should have 3 remaining. Yarn over and pull through 2. You should have 2 loops left. Yarn over and pull through 2. So we're going to make 2 more treble crochets. That's the third one. I'm going to make one more. Okay, so we've chained 4, we've made 4 treble crochets, and now we're going to chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we're going to make a slip stitch into the ring. Okay, just pull that so it's nice and neat. And now we're going to, that's the first half of the bow. And now we're going to make the other half. So if we chain 4 again, we're just going to repeat what we've done. 1, 2, 3, 4, and make 4 more treble crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, and make 1 more treble crochet. And we're going to chain 4. So just check you've chained 4 treble crochets, and then another chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and again we're going to slip stitch into the ring. Can be a bit fiddly, it does take some getting used to working with a ring. They're not difficult, it just can be a bit fiddly like I said. So I'm just going to grab the end here and just pull it close, not fully, just makes it easier to work into. So you can see as well the shape that it's taking. That would be fine, that leave about that much space for now, and it should start to look like, you can see, shape of a bow. So now we're going to make the tail ends, the bow ends. So we're going to now chain 7, and don't do them too tight because we're going to be slip stitching into these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to slip stitch all the way back. So we're going to ignore this stitch that we've just made and work in the second one across. So if you insert the hook into this one and make a slip stitch, and we're going to do 5 more. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm just going to slip stitch into the circle again here, and that's one side done. I'm going to make another one of those. So if we chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and start slip stitching into the second chain from the hook. We need to do 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, make another slip stitch into the circle. Okay, so we can fasten off now. I'm going to leave a tail of about 8 inches just so we can use that to sew onto the shoe. So we can fasten that one off. Just going to pull it back through. So once you've fastened that off, we're just going to turn it over and pull this to draw the circle close. Just pull it so it should look like that. That's that closed. And we're going to wrap this long piece that we just cut off. So if we, sorry, bring it a bit lower. So if I just bring this is the piece we've just fastened off with. I'm just going to now bring it to the back of the bow and over the top here. You can see that. And then I'm just going to wrap this round, not too tight but then not too loose, about 5 times. That's twice, 3, 4, actually 4 is plenty. That looks fine. As long as it looks similar to that, you'll be fine. So I'm just going to turn it over and lie it down, and then I'm going to tie these 2 ends into a knot just to secure them. And then with the long piece you can use that to sew onto the shoe, and there you have a bow, and they're very easy and effective to make. I've now sewn on the bows so you can have a look. I've just centered them underneath the strap, so at least I know with each bootie the bow will be in the same place, and I've just slightly underneath. I think you can sew them on even at the front if you choose to do so. I think both colours are really pretty. You can choose virtually any colour combination that you prefer, and I think you'll agree the Mary Jane is a classic timeless baby bootie. And the soles as well, they're quite pretty if you do a contrasting colour, or you can just do it in one colour. It's entirely up to you. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If so, would you mind giving it a thumbs up, and please feel free to follow and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye.